If you shower or brush your teeth or try to make your hair look presentable, here's some good news. Dollar Shave Club has a lot of stuff to help you out. Dollar Shave Club delivers everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toothpaste, hair gel, even a wipe that leaves your tush feeling tingly clean. All of Dollar Shave Club's products are made with top-shelf ingredients that won't break your budget. You'll feel the difference. Plus, shipping is free with your membership. And here's a great way to try a bunch of Dollar Shave Club's products for just $5. You can get their Daily Essential Starter Set. It comes with Body Cleanser, One Wipe Charlie's, their amazing butt wipes, and their world-famous shave butter. And their best razor, the 6-Blade Executive. Keep the blades coming for a few more bucks a month and add in a shampoo, toothpaste, or anything else you need. Check it all out at dollarshaveclub.com/Chad. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Chad.
Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
I gotta be honest, guys, it's not looking good for us. I think America is over. We had a good run. I don't really see how America comes back from this. We're too dumb and too broken. We got Trump who's like, whatever. And we got Republicans, they won't help because they're like, and then there are Democrats. I don't know what they're doing. Democrats are like when you give a toddler a sticky piece of paper and then they try to get it off one hand, but it gets stuck to the other hand. And they use the other hand to get it off that hand and it gets stuck to that hand. And then they use that one and they get it stuck to that one. And this just keeps happening over and over and over again until democracy crumbles.
Michelle Wolf. I think if her voice wasn't so, I think maybe she'd be more funny. I like the fact she took a swipe at both sides, which is needed. Both sides can be punching bags in today's age, and I think both sides should. I've said comedy is the great equalizer in a lot of this stuff. Satire and comedy keeps a lot of our leaders and people who are in the leadership area at times on their toes and brings them down a notch. But it's funny because America's not over. We're not. I know a lot of people would like to think that we're over. Russia's invaded our space and their democracy, and look at all the influence they've had, and they've destroyed everything. You go to the other side, it's like they've not really done anything, but maybe they did do something. We knew they did something, but they didn't do that much. America could be. We're not done for. All right, we're not. Everybody take a deep breath. It is amazing. But see, this is what social media does, right? Social media has given people a voice that otherwise wouldn't have a voice. And many of these people who have a voice now don't have a voice to many people. And you can tell why they don't have a voice to many people. Because they're annoying. Yesterday, I had a woman who said, she came out and she connected with me on Facebook, and she sends me a direct message and says that my grammar's awful. I thought they were all supposed to be eloquent. I've listened to you for an hour, and in an hour you've misspoken twice on something. And I just laughed. And I thought, that's all we do anymore with each other. Is we look for people's faults. We don't look for the good in human beings anymore. We don't. We just look for the negative in human beings. Oh, there's something I can say that's negative. That's why Yelp is so popular. Yelp is popular because people want to be able to go talk and bitch about stuff at work. You know who the people are that you work with that you can go to on a daily basis that will bitch about the things that's going on there. This guy doesn't do this right. Our leader's an idiot. She's a blah, 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 blah. He's a this is, and that's it. And then people gravitate towards those people. In politics, it's the same way, right? All we hear is negative. We've stopped running races in 2018 where we talk about our plan to do something. It's always at the end. My opponent is this, and this. By the way, I'm for this. Oh, so basically your opponent sucks and you're a little bit better. That's what you just told me. And it's because social media has given people a voice that they might not have had. And they've taken that voice and to their 8 followers or to their 200 followers or to their 100,000 followers, they've decided to use that voice. Rarely is it for anything positive. 99 times out of 100 when we send people messages, this, that, and the other, it's because we're bitching. Because that's all we do is we bitch. We whine, we moan. Trump, he has led a revolution of that. Like Trump or hate Trump, he has figured out how to use it. And in Trump's defense, he touts his own horn a lot. Because nobody else does, is the way he looks at it. I read an article today in the Washington Times, which is, it's a right-leaning publication that is essentially said that 92% of Trump's immigration policies and the coverage of it is negative. Yeah. Because negative sells. Negative sells. It's toxic, though. That's the thing I worry about in our country is the toxicity levels. You know that Gallup poll we talked about yesterday of the things that we're worried about in our country. One of the things that I was surprised at that had been steady at about 7 or 8% of people have mentioned this is, and when you could think about 7 or 8%, it doesn't sound like a lot, but gay rights, abortion, climate change, all of these other things, there was zero. Nobody had mentioned any of those. So 7, 8% was like number 4 or 5. It's the way that we treat people. The way that we treat people in this country, the way that we treat one another is awful. There was a thing where if you have nothing nice to say, you just don't say it, right? We've lost that now. Now it's like, I've got something nice to say, but I'd rather say 50 negative things. Because it's more entertaining to say negative things. It's it leads situation that we have in this country. It's more entertaining. I get sick and tired of it. I really do. I get sick and tired of every day. I don't even like that. It's and this goes back to the fact that I look at social media anymore is it's not even a double-edged sword anymore. Right? It's not. It's, to me, I look at it as just a way to get yourself in trouble more than anything else. And also a way to just sit there and it's so negative. And I don't want that in my life. I don't know about you, but I don't want that negativity all the time in my life. If I get 50 or 100 tweets, 200 tweets, whatever it is, I can guarantee you a good portion of them are negative. And none of them start out with, let's have a conversation. It always starts out with, I hate you, here's why. I find you disgusting, here's why. I don't agree with one of your positions, so I'm going to tell you what a blankety blank you are. Would you talk to anybody else that way? No. But the social media world has given people a voice, and I got no problem with that. I think everybody should have a voice. It's the way we use that voice that has frustrated me over the last several months. You don't always have to be positive, but you don't even find people that are half-ass positive. Everything now that I see with social media, when it comes to discussions about anything, is always negative. It always starts in a negative place. Never a conversation. It starts with an insult and then it just unravels from there. And it's sad that we're in this position in this day and age, that this is how we react to one another. It's sad. We're eating each other from within, and it's sad. It really is. And it's funny because, I have 6 hours of radio I do throughout the day. Do you understand that? The average radio host probably does 3. I do a ton of radio throughout the day. I love what I do. I hate the negativity. And I don't mind a vigorous discussion. I don't mind sitting down. I had a guy last week who attacked me. And I said, that was kind of uncalled for. And after like 5 or 10 texts, he's like, you know what? I apologize for that. It was absolutely wrong for me to start a conversation like that. And you know what? But that's the way, that's all we know how to do now is we start from, and it's ridiculous. We've got to be better people. We absolutely do. We have to be better. Michelle Wolf's right about one thing. If we don't figure something out, America is going to be eaten up from within. And if you ask and you go back and you look and you read what our founding fathers were always worried about, it wasn't about outside influences. It was about what we would do to each other that would finally cause the collapse. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at me. Hope you're doing well. Happy Taco Tuesday. God, I love tacos. I do love tacos. I'm not going to lie to you, kids. I love tacos. Anytime there's a way, you know what? Every day that ends in a Y, we should all have a taco. Makes everything better. It really does. It really does. I watched Shark Week last night, producer Phil, and I'm going to tell you guys this. For those of you who are unaware of what nature will do to you, it will mess you up. Although they didn't have attacks, last night was kind of what I wanted to see. You know, the night before, the shark is the celebrity. All right, I don't need, all these celebrities to come on there and so we can go to Shark Week. The shark is the celebrity. And last night when they had the Great White Abyss, they had one shark that is the size of a yellow school bus and rounder than a hippo. That is terrifying, just to let you know. And when other sharks that are 15 and 16 feet swim by it, they look tiny, terrifying, frightening. But it was great. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. It's Chad Benson Show.
A bird in the hand is worth 140 on Twitter, so tweet your beak off. At Chad Benson Show Twitter. And if instant gratification is your thing, hit Chad up on Instagram at Chad Benson. Your bird will thank you.
Rosilo works as a cashier at a convenience store inside of an office building in Chicago's Loop. She expects long lines for Mega Millions tickets to start forming in the afternoon.
Everybody's coming for just to try their luck.
She says when lottery jackpots get this high, she sees a lot of customers who are unfamiliar with the games but want to get in on the action.
Sometimes they don't know. They just do the quick pick. Okay, what's the big one? Mega, okay, how much? $2 line. Okay, give me $100. Give me $50.
The Mega Millions jackpot is over $500 million for tonight's drawing.
Okay, Phil, you asked the perfect question. How do you not know how to play the lottery?
Do you know how I go? You know how I do it, Chad?
Give me five quick picks.
Give me how many Mega Millions tickets you got.
There you go. That's it. Quick picks. There you go. Boom. They'll pick it for me. We'll go from there. How about those apples? Oh, my God. This is awesome. How does this work again? Huh? Sorry, you're disqualified. Says right on the ticket, if you don't understand how the game works, you cannot win the game. You have a different game. This is a game where you play a stupid game and you win a stupid prize. So 510 million people. What is it? $2 for Mega Millions? Is that what it is?
Yeah, $2 a ticket.
$2 a ticket. So you've got your two. Now you bought them in Maryland, so this is, right? Like this is it, right? This is your jam?
Yep, absolutely.
You're feeling now you'll probably say to yourself, Phil and Chad, one of you won the lottery. We did. But you're not talking about it. Why? Because I don't want to. Phil doesn't want to. Keep it hush till the day that we don't. That's what you do. That's how you roll. You don't tell the world, right? Get your ducks in a row before you go public. Say, look, here, I want to cash this in. I'm totally fine with it. You're going to give me 60 days, though, to get my ducks in a row before we go public. That's it. That's all you got to say. People are so stupid. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love it when you do. Poll question today. It's a simple one. It's about birthright citizenship. Michael Anton's going to join us later. Very interesting take on birthright citizenship. Should we do away with it? Right now, 35% say yes, we should. 46% says no, we should. 19% says only for undocumented, meaning if you're a legal resident in this country. and you have a child here, that child can become a citizen. What say you? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. Each and every day at this time, we like to give you stuff that makes you feel cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Although right now it's summertime and it's really, really hot. About 119 right now. It's our urban word of the day.
It's time for the urban word of the day, fam.
What? Right now?
Time to get a little more hip on the streets.
I can't understand a word you're saying.
Urban word of the day.
I like this one. Fridging. Fridging. What are you doing, man? I'm fridging. It's when you keep going back and forth to the refrigerator, right? You open it up, you look in, you scan each shelf, and you look inside the door, and you close it, and then you come back, you scan each shelf again, and you close it. You do it over and over again, expecting a different result. Keep going back to the refrigerator. Sometimes you got plenty of food, just not quite sure what you want. Sometimes you got nothing, and you're hunting and trying to gather. People say, what are you doing, man? I've been fridging all day. I'm starving. Let's get out of here and go get something to eat. Frigid is your urban word of the day.
Thank you for saying that in dated urban slang so that I'll understand you.
That there was the urban word of the day. We damn stretched your cranium.
Ann Kirkpatrick, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Tell us why you do support ICE.
Good morning. I'm actually here to speak directly to Donald Trump. I feel that what's happening at the border is wrong. I'm a mother of 4, and I believe that separating kids from their parents is illegal and inhumane. I'm actually Barbara L'Italian. I'm a state senator representing a large immigrant community and running for Congress in Massachusetts. Again, my name is Barbara L'Italian, and I refuse to believe that our only options are open borders or chronic.
Okay.
That was a goof up by Fox. So Fox tried to book Ann Kirkpatrick to talk about ICE on Fox and Friends in the morning, and they screwed it up because they called Joe Katz, who is L'Italian's campaign spokesman, but used to work for Kirkpatrick 10 years ago. They never updated anything. So he said it's a perfect idea, an opportunity to get my client on there, even though she's against all of this stuff, and to give her a little bit of national pub. So she did it via Skype, and people kept asking her if she was Kirkpatrick, and she just kept saying, hi, how are you? That was it. They did not do their due diligence. Oops. Oh, Fox, you got to do better, Fox. You got to do better. You do. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing from you. What do you think about birthright citizenship? So, should somebody who comes here, I don't care if you come here illegally via the border or if you fly here on vacation knowing full well you're only coming here to give birth to a child so that child can have citizenship and you'll have the opportunity eventually of staying here or coming back in the future. Should we get rid of birthright citizenship? You can text the program 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. He's a lawn guy. A garden guy, and he's got a card that's causing controversy. We'll talk about it straight ahead. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
They don't want to have those tariffs put on them. They're all coming to see us. And the farmers will be the biggest beneficiary. Watch. We're opening up markets. You watch what's going to happen.
Watch.
Just be a little patient.
Patient. Huge. Tariffs. And apparently we're freeing up some dollar bills to help out the farmers. Not everybody's thrilled by tariffs. All right, they're all coming to us. Again, that I don't know. The one thing about tariffs, and I think a lot of people worry, well, what's it going to do to the economy? Is it going to kill the economy? Is it going to slow the economy down? Some things are going to be more expensive. The reality is it's all a negotiating ploy, and it's not a forever thing. And this is the one thing, no matter who you talk to, that Trump has been on about since long before he was Trump, the candidate, Trump, the then president-elect, Trump, the president, long before any of that, he's been a tariff guy and a trade guy and trade deficit. Like, that's been one of his jams that he's talked about for a very long time. Paul Ryan.
I've made it pretty clear I don't think tariffs are the right answer. I don't support tariffs. I think tariffs are taxes, and I think there are better tools that we can use.
Yeah, I think there is too. I think there is. And we'll see what, if any, of those tools are going to be used and how long this is going to go. It is not a forever thing, but it's interesting when the economy's motoring like it is and people are feeling good to maybe put any kind of wrinkle into something that could throw these midterms into, slow this economy down. And who knows what will happen come November. Because right now, while immigration is top of the mind for a lot of people at this moment in time, the reality is between now and November is forever in the political world. And there will be tragedies, and there will be drama, and there will be crises, and there will be all these things that will happen between now and then. So why take a chance on something? But we'll see. We'll see what kind of negotiation comes out of this. We will. We absolutely will. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. So this is interesting. All right. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think what this guy did is wrong at all. I think he should own it. In this day and age, you can't own anything because of the backlash that comes with it. But there's a guy in Texas, lawn business he has, and he has put out a card or several cards that he was looking at, apparently, according to him. And his slogan on there, or his little pitch to people, was very interesting, and some people took offense to it. But I think quietly, especially small businesses out there that compete in areas like this, whether it's roofing, whether it is contracting or any of these things, you guys will understand completely what he's talking about.
When Fonzie Guzman saw this card on social media,
I was really upset at first, but once I kind of broke it down, I was like, you know what? I feel bad for this guy.
It says American-owned, your alternative to illegal lawn services, and taking back Carrollton one lawn at a time.
Ooh, he said that. Now, think about it. You're a small business owner, right? You're in a business of really tight margins a lot of times. And when you're in a business where you've got to bid jobs, and we live in a world right now, as we just talked about with tariffs, where we're a consumer-based society. So when things, we like it cheap and stock it deep, right? That's the reason why Walmart exists. That's the reason why Amazon exists. We like it cheap, stock them deep. Thank you very much. So if you're a contractor, if you're, it doesn't matter if you're doing roofs or whatever you're doing, your pools, you're a lawn person, whatever it is. When you have to go bid a job and somebody says, how much is it? And you say, it's 110. Built into this, if you're doing it right, built into that cost is all of the cost that you have. And it's not just the mower and the gas and all of that stuff. It's your workers. And the workers themselves are going to cost money because you've got all of the stuff that goes into it. Taxes. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, workman's comp. Oh, man, I forgot about that. Potentially health care. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So all of that gets built in. Somebody who doesn't have those things, and I know I can hear many of you out there, your brains are going because you are a small business that does everything above board. Those of you who don't, you know who you are. You go up to a house. You're not paying for all of those. You may have workers, but you're paying them cash, right? So you go up to a house. He goes up to a house. You give your bid. He gives his. The guy or gal looks at it and says, oh, man, this guy wants to charge me, $125, every 2 weeks. This guy's going to charge me $60 every 2 weeks. He didn't have the overhead that you do. Competing is tough. That's not a level playing field. So what this guy did, I don't fault him for. Now, some people say he's playing to Trump's base. He's emboldened by that. He's a xenophobe. He's all of these things. No, he's a business owner that is not getting a fair shake because he's trying to compete in the right way, and it's not happening for him. People say, well, you know, you can just really talk about your business now. Amazing is, yeah, that sounds great. And for some things, especially big things, because I've got a couple friends out there who are big construction people, and they have very large companies, and they'll tell me, I can't compete with a guy that rolls up and he's got 4 or 5 people that are working for them. He's got 10 people working for him. Half of them aren't on the payroll. Half of them maybe are. And they're going to go do a job that may be good or not, but the fact is it's going to cost us $20,000 to do it. And to get anything out of it, and those margins are thin, it's going to cost them $12,000 to do it, and their margins are big, so they can play with it. Most people go with what? They go with price. So I don't feel bad, and I think this guy should have owned this.
We saw one of the company's trucks and 3 of Jeff's employees who say they're Mexican. Jeff wouldn't go on camera, but he sent me a statement that says, in part, many card samples were made up to determine which wording would be used to let customers know there are legitimate, honest, tax-paying lawn services with excellent credentials and verifiable backgrounds. We found this photo that shows the slogan on a work truck. We don't know the date it was taken, but it does show the message on more than a sample card.
Yeah, maybe it does. And again, that's why you own that. Say, yes, you know what? I do it right. I can't give you $60 because it cost me $70 or $80 just to get a yard done. If you calculate everything in there for the amount of time we're going to be there, I can't give you that. I need to make some money too. Well, these people can. Well, then that's what you're going to go with. Right? And the argument of, people don't want jobs, people don't want to work, people don't want to do this, people don't do that. I just sit there and I'm like, you know what? That is such crap. People don't want jobs. That's on them. And there are people out there that won't do jobs. There are people out there that will not do tough jobs like that. They don't want to be out in 100-degree heat, 120-degree heat. They don't want to be doing this in the cool, for part of the season, and they don't want any of that. That's fine. But there's all of these things that factor into it. And when you're doing something legitimate like this guy is, I get why he's frustrated. Wouldn't you be? And many of you out there, you understand what it's like because you have to go into situations knowing that you're going to be underbid on something, and they're doing it because their labor essentially is getting paid under the table. And I'm not talking about, hey, you're going to get $2 an hour. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about they're paying them fair rate. They would get pretty much anywhere if they was legit or not. But they're not paying all of the freight, meaning workman's comp, not paying that. Payroll taxes, not paying that. Social Security, right? Health insurance, all of these things they're not calculating in that we don't see. And that is why it's so tough for a lot of places. That's why I've talked about, if we're serious, one of the ways that we go after fixing illegal immigration is what? We go after business owners. Because what you're going to do is if you start to say, hey, look, you're going to get fined, then you're going to close you for 30, then 60, and then you're done. It'll make people think. But Chad, things are going to go up. Then things go up to a certain extent. It's not going to get ridiculous. But a level playing field. That's what a lot of people want, just a level playing field, especially in an industry like that. And, of course, in this day and age, how dare you put something out like this? Because if you put something out like this, here come the trolls.
Jeff says he has received death threats and is concerned for his family's safety. He says the old card that someone found was never meant to be a card that was handed out.
To me, I look at it like this. You should own it. Saying, look, I have nothing against people that come here the right way. And I have anything against anybody who's come here illegally. What I'm trying to say as a business owner, the competition, because of all of this stuff, it's not fair to me. It's not. If I could play on their level playing field, I would. If I want to do it right, I do it right. So what then? See, because the easy thing to do is, of course, to brandish him a racist, and he's a racist, he's a scumbag, he's a xenophobe, he's a blah, 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 blah. No, he's a business owner who's trying to get his edge, and there will be some people that look at this and say, I don't like that, and there'll be some other people out there going, I'm going to use that guy because he's doing it right. And there's my buddy who's a roofer who listens. What's going on, Russ? He used to say, look, the one thing is I can't compete with what they're doing. They roll up with a truck. They got guys who work hard. But the one thing that we do is we're going to be here in 15, 20, 25 years. They're not. Something goes wrong with your roof. Good luck. It's very interesting. It is. But if I was him, I'd own the hell out of it. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing from you. We've got a question of the day that is up right now, and I will tell you this. I'm surprised. Should we end birthright citizenship? 36% say yes, we should. 44% say no, we should not. 20% say only for undocumented, meaning if you've come here legally, you're a resident, you own a business, something of that nature, yes, if you have a child here and is born here, it should be a citizen. But if you've come here illegally, doesn't matter how you've got here, whether you're one of these, these maternity tourists from these wealthy nations, or whether you're somebody who's come just across the border, or you've snuck through on a visa, or that, then that's a negative. What say you? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Dollar Shave Club is amazing. Oh, tell me more, Chad. Tell me more. I love it. It helps my British accent, you see, when I use their razors, which are incredible. Oh, they are. They are. But you know what else is incredible? Their toothpaste, their toothbrush. Use. Check. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash. Oh, yeah. Hair care products. Check, baby. I've got it all, and you should get it too. But why don't we start? We'll start a little small right now, right? Can we do that? You can't. $5? No way. Yeah, free shipping. Get out of town. It's called their Daily Essential Starter Set. This is what Dollar Shave Club's giving you for $5, free shipping. Here you go. Are you ready? Grab your seats. On the mark. Get set. Here we go. Body cleanser, One Wipe Charlie's, Dr. Carver's famous shave butter, and the best razor around, the 6-blade Executive. Those blades will keep coming for a few extra bucks a month. Why don't you throw something in there? Might I suggest the calming body cleanser, especially if you shower at night? Or better yet, get some hair care products. You will look cool. I'm just saying. Check it out. It's not going to break your budget. $5, free shipping. Join today. DollarShaveClub.com/Chad. DollarShaveClub.com/Chad. $5 free shipping. DollarShaveClub.com/Chad. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. ChadBenson. Chad Benson Show.
No fake outrage here, just the real thing. The Chad Benson Show.
In her new song, Sober, released last month, Demi Lovato sings about relapsing.
Mama, I'm so sorry, I'm not sober anymore.
Now those lyrics read as a cry for help. People magazine saying Lovato was taken to the hospital Tuesday after what appears to be a drug overdose. They say she's in stable condition. The superstar singer has battled addiction for years, several stints in treatment for drugs and eating disorders. She's been very open about her struggles, something that has given support and comfort to her millions of fans. Now it appears she needs that support.
Wow. How about those apples? Now, apparently, would you say, Phil, they gave her Narcan?
Yeah, when they got to her house.
Yeah, so they gave her Narcan. She's awake, responsive, they're saying, in the hospital, according to TMZ, and they tend to get it right on TMZ. Some people have issues. They struggle. I mean, yeah, it's sad. It is sad. And she's had a lot of issues. And she's only 25. I thought she was older than that. She was supposed to be on Shazam, that TV show with Jamie Foxx and his daughter. But apparently Fox said today, they tweeted out they're going to pull that episode, at least until maybe she gets better. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. It's very sad to watch somebody who goes through something like that. And this is, like we have different falls in America, right? Like, some people fall because they do something stupid. They say something. Nowadays, it's like drugs. Do you remember Robert Downey Jr., all the stuff he went through? I mean, my God, he went into his neighbor's house and he got into one of the kids next door. Didn't he get into the kid's bed or something? Some ridiculous, like he had a real problem. And we love to see him climb back up. That's a great thing, right? We want to see Demi Lovato keep going and climb back up. And then other people will tweet something and their lives are ruined and they're never climbing back up. They might as well. Like, I saw somebody the other day and I forgot who it was that said, you're better nowadays having a bad drug problem, getting caught and arrested for something like that, for guns or than a bad tweet. And that is insane. It is. It really is. And you think about it. If you ask somebody today, okay, look, you're a star and you're going to have one issue. You can send a really bad tweet that's going to be misinterpreted in a way. You are going to think it's funny. Everybody's going to think you're racist, sexist, homophobic. Or you're going to get caught with cocaine. They'll be like, cocaine. People will think, oh, he's got to fight. He's got to fight. This person over here, he's evil, he's evil, he's evil. And you may not recover from that. You can recover from a lot of other stuff. But the social media faux pas, no. No. Tough. Real tough. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. We're talking about the birthright citizenship. Should we think about changing that? You can tweet at us at Chad Benson Show. You can text the program 323-538-2423. At Oxy Ballads tweets in at Chad Benson Show. In Monaco, you need to have 5 generations born in the country before you can get citizenship just by being. You can't get citizenship just by being born there. No, I think you could buy. It's weird in some of these countries, and there's countries out there that will sell you citizenship. But America, you're born here. Interesting. 323-538-2423. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
President Trump writes on Twitter that he is, quote, very concerned that Russia will try to interfere in the upcoming election. The president writes, quote, based on the fact that no president has been tougher on Russia than me, they will be pushing very hard for the Democrats. They definitely don't want Trump. Mr. Trump said last week that he did not think Russia was still targeting the U.S.
This is my face. He's the biggest troll out there. You may dislike Trump, and I have no problem. I'm not going to try to convince you to love him, to hate him, whatever. You've got your own beliefs. Some of you absolutely love him. If I dare say anything bad about Trump, and, Chad, all those horrible things. And some of you out there, your hatred for Trump is so massive. If I say anything nice about Trump, hatred, it's all the same. But there's got to be a portion of him that just loves to troll. Right? It just lives to troll. That wakes up in the morning and go, I'm going to tweet something and see what they do. And then he does now. And then he's like, They're talking about today, he's the master of deception and changing the subject. And I'm thinking, he's not really. You just take the bait. That's what happens, media. You take the bait. He does something. That's what trolls do. And I think he trolls the media, and it's hilarious. It does, because they do take the bait. Look, there's no doubt that he would like to get away from last week's failures, if you will. There's no doubt in my mind. So what did he do? He tweets something to Rouhani, and then that starts this. And then all of a sudden, he's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna revoke people's security clearances. And oh my God. And then it was, we're going to do this. And today he comes out, I was like, yeah, I still think they're going to try to do something, the Russians. And last week you didn't say, yeah, you know what, it's just today. And you guys, I was answering another question. And I think now that they're going to try to fix it for the Democrats. So be wary of that. And it's hilarious. And then they run over and like, oh my God, now he thinks they're trying to fix it for the Democrats. Rabble rouse, rabble rouse, rabble rouse. It is kind of funny. Because he can tweet to the whole country and world, and then the media is like, oh, and they go do something. And they get there, quick, get all these guests done. Guest here, guest there, guest. And then like, blah, 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 back and forth with each other. Trump this, Trump that. All of a sudden, we got boards over here. Let's look at this. And then he tweeted this, and then was over here, and look at this. And he's lying about this, because back here he said this, that, and the other. All the while he goes over here, because he's a magician. He's saying, look at this hand. And as anybody knows, it's the other hand you want to be looking at. Look over here. Whoa. And that's what he does with his Twitter. And people buy into it. Whoa, what do you mean? Yeah, that's what they're doing. Better watch out, Putin. Mitch is making it clear. Don't mess with our elections.
The Russians better quit messing around in our elections. I want to make that perfectly clear. The Russians better quit messing around in our elections. They did it the last time. They better not do it again.
Oh, yeah. Putin's like, but we want to. No. He said not to do it this time. Last time we did it, he's like, now they're mid. Oh, yeah. Come on, get over it. Of course they're going to try to meddle. We've made it out to be the biggest thing in the history of things. The pebble in the shoe isn't a pebble, it's a boulder, and it's coming down a hill, and it's going to hit us. Because, as I said last week, I believe we gave them too much credit. If we're giving them that much credit, do you think they're going to be more emboldened? I believe they are. I do.
The Speaker now made it clear that Putin will not be welcome up here at the Capitol.
Yeah, well, you know what, Trump might give him a key to the damn city. Who knows? But it's funny because he is trolling them. He's playing with them. And he gets them off balance all the time. And they play into it. And everything's negative, so it's a game between the two, and I would rather them not do it. But it is funny to watch what he said. He goes out and says this today all day, nonstop, on all of the channels as I flip around before I get to TV land so I can watch Gunsmoke like good people do. What are they talking about? Talking about what Trump said or tweeted. Better watch out. Better not shout. Better not cry. I'm telling you why. Putin's here to meddle this time. And he's going to do it for the Dems. Now he's saying, how dare he say that? Because they did it for you, Trump. Now he's going to do it for the Dems to even the score. And then he'll have our entire democracy completely discombobulated. It's all going to become the pooter. Oh. It is pretty funny. It is interesting. It is very interesting to watch this entire thing play out. And it's a game. It's all a game. And that's the sad thing is it's become this horrible game amongst each other. And then you get, and the crazies come out of the woodwork and they want to talk about stuff. Oh, it's this or it's that or, Trump. I love this one right here is maybe my favorite of all, which is Rachel Maddow talking about Trump.
Is our president subordinate to a foreign power?
Yeah.
Does our president answer to a foreign government and a foreign leader? That's private meeting with Putin where nobody knows what he promised or what he may have given away. The fact that he took under consideration all of these demands from Russia, including handing over Americans to Russia for interrogation, it makes the worst case scenario really palpable. The worst case scenario that the president is a foreign agent.
If he's a foreign agent and we were that fooled, because remember, us being that fooled happened on somebody else's watch, us being that fooled, which that somebody else, President Obama said there's no way they can do anything to our election and somebody needs to shut up and just try to go out and get as many votes as possible. If that happened, then we're idiots. Right? Right? Maybe. That's, talk about being overboard. But people buy into that, right? People buy into, oh, yeah, Trump's a foreign agent. I saw that coming. Totally saw that coming. Oh, my good. It's just, it just makes you sit back and go, eh. And the whole thing yesterday with the security clearance is another one of those things. It's another one of those situations where they dodged, they weaved. He did these kind of things. And the next thing you know, boom. We're on to something new. This is unprecedented. How dare he? Why could he be doing these things? It's crazy.
You know, he's tweeting suddenly tough talk vis-a-vis Iran in a tweet, or talking about taking away the security clearances of former intelligence officials and national security officials and FBI officials. I mean, it is a classic move by President Trump to try to distract. And we've seen this time and time again. When things aren't going well, you lob a Molotov cocktail in one corner of the room and everyone runs over there and looks at it and ignores all the stuff that's been going on that hasn't reflected well in the administration.
But you talk about it for 5 hours, so it worked. If you were 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, was all of these children that would be ripped away from their parents' arms, you know, they were just walking down the street in the middle of Mexico, minding their own damn business. We send these robot drones over and we snatch their kids away, and then he goes and he meets Putin, and all of a sudden it's this, and we forgot about that, and we're on to something else, and it becomes big, and then the Russia, and then all of a sudden it's this, and then you play into it. So why wouldn't he? It's like a child, right? If you're going to continue to do the same thing, get the same reaction, why would I want to change anything if I'm getting the same reaction? If I'm a baseball player and every time this guy comes up, I throw a curve, he can't hit a curve, but he can hit a fastball, and I strike him out, why would I want to throw a fastball? I know he can hit that. I know he can't hit this, so I'm going to continue to do this over and over again until I get a different result. Just spitballing here. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing it when you do. Got a poll question. Should we end birthright citizenship? We're going to talk to Michael Anton in a little bit from Hillsdale. He's got a very interesting article about birthright citizenship on Washington Post today. Very interesting opinion piece. It really is. Makes you think. We're going to talk to him coming up in a little bit. 37% of you say yes, we should. 44% say no, we should not. 19% say only for undocumented, meaning if you've come here legally, you're a resident, you're a homeowner, whatever reason, you've got all the necessary paperwork and you have a child here, yes, that child should be granted citizenship. But if you've come here by illegal means, no matter if you're just flying over here because you want to give birth to your child, or they set up these maternity hospitals that are tourist maternity hospitals, or if you come here legally by other means, then no, you shouldn't be. Let us know. You can text the program, 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. CarShield is amazing. I'm telling you guys right now, if you've got a car that's a little long in the tooth, you worry about the what-if situation, don't worry anymore. That's what CarShield is for. It's extended vehicle protection, and it's amazing. Your car breaks down, You take it in, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 later, you get the estimate, you're looking and you're like, I don't even know what to do. I mean, I could probably cover this, but it's going to be tight. Things are getting more expensive. You're like, oh, I didn't need this right now. Nobody needs it. But that's when you get it, is when you didn't need it right now for a lot of people. With CarShield, don't worry about that. They make the whole thing of fixing a cover repair and the cost of it just so smooth and easy. It's like, boom. First, they got 24/7 roadside assistance. Second, you get to choose the shop that your car goes to. And that's vitally important for a lot of people. You can take it to the dealership. You pick whatever mechanic, wherever you want to get it fixed. They'll take it there, get them paid directly. You're not fronting anything. And yes, while your car's in the shop, you're not without wheels. For free, they get you a rental car. That is amazing. This is what I want you to do right now. Get the ultimate in extended vehicle protection. Call 800-CAR-6100. Mention code Benson or visit carshield.com. Use code Benson to save 10%. That's carshield.com. Code Benson saves you 10%, or call 800-CAR-6100. Use code Benson. Save you 10% right there. Deductible may apply. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. CHADBENSON. Chad Benson Show.
Deep states? No. Deep doo-doo? Yeah. The Chad Benson Show.
The president has wide latitude when it comes to security clearance. Typically, the only thing the courts can get involved in is the process. How did he go about revoking it? What were the procedures that were put in place, et cetera?
Oh, that's Live PD's Dan Abrams. He also has to be a lawyer, but whatever. We like him more on Live PD. Here's the reason. People keep saying, why? If I leave my work, I don't keep my security clearance. I don't keep any of these things. No. So let's say you're a CIA director or one of these high-level muckety-mucks, right? You leave, your security clearance drops down a few levels, but you keep it. And part of the reason why is because every once in a while, they'll want to bring you in and talk about something. The new people. Or they're trying to figure some stuff out, and they're looking for another set of eyes and ears that may be able to lend a hand to something. So they don't keep the security clearance they had when they're the CIA director or whatever, but they keep a level of security clearance. It's something that they've done for a long time, and it's because it's not for the individual, it's for the U.S. itself. Because whether you like Brennan or some of these things, they know a lot of stuff, and bringing them in situations that may benefit us is beneficial to everybody. That's why they keep a certain amount. And some people keep a certain amount of security clearance because you'll leave, and there's a lot of people out there with security clearance. What happens is you'll leave that world that you're in, and you're going to become a private sector worker, but you're going to go work somewhere as a contractor that needs security clearance. So you keep this, they allow you to keep the security clearance because you're going to be working back in that world in some way, shape, or form as a contractor. That's why. That's it. There you go. It's that simple. It's not a big deal. But yesterday, him doing what he did, the whole thing that sent them on this little, it was very interesting to watch them do it. And yeah, it's politically motivated, 100%. But as you just heard Dan Abrams, Trump is Trump. And in this, he has that kind of say. He does. Don't tell me it wasn't politically motivated. Absolutely was. Will he? He said today, maybe. We'll see. I'm in no rush to figure this out. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. I love to invest. I've been investing for a long time, and I invest in all kinds of things. And one of those things is cryptocurrencies. And I wish I had a course like this at AmazingCryptoClass.com that would have helped my uncle and I when we first got into it because we were neophytes. We really didn't understand anything. We kind of knew how it worked. We knew how to get them, but we didn't quite understand a lot of what was going on there. A lot of people are curious about cryptocurrency, not quite sure how to get into it, but want to learn. Tiki Tawari from the Palm Beach Letters put together an amazing course that you are going to love. He's made money and profit for people in cryptocurrency probably more than anybody else out there, and he's ready to help you. He's going to teach you everything in this educational course, how they work, how you buy them, how you profit from them, what is the blockchain, all of these things that people are curious about. He's going to lift the veil. You're going to see it all, and you're going to understand it. You're going to learn with the opportunity to earn, and that's what most people want when you're investing. Check it out for yourself at AmazingCryptoClass.com. 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 At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter, ChadBenson. We have a poll question today. It's about birthright citizenship. Should we get rid of it? Should we say, let's get rid of it? Right now, 37% of you say yes, we should. 44% say no. 19 say only for people that are undocumented. So if you're a legal resident here, you've come here the right way, but you're not a citizen and you have a child, that child is fine to be a citizen. If you're here illegally, then that's a no. Take the poll at Chad Benson Show. Michael Anton's going to talk about his article straight ahead. It is the Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Protest live. Lie about immigrants, about crime, about cost to the community. This administration's policy that literally ripped babies from the arms of their mothers and fathers. It's one of the darkest moments in our history.
Joe Biden right there. Sounds like he's running for president. I'm just saying. Sounds like he's running for president right there. And immigration is right now, if you ask people today, top of everybody's mind, right? Top of everybody's mind is immigration. So what do we do with immigration? What do we do? How do we fix it? Do we want to fix it? And I've said all along here at the alt middle is they don't have a vested interest on either side of fixing this thing. There are ways to go about fixing this thing, both inside the box and outside the box, when it comes to fixing immigration. None of which they seem really to want to do. They like the fact that they can punt stuff that is on the clock, right? DACA, executive orders, it's on the clock. Well, no, the court's got it. They stopped it. We're going to wait till it gets to the Supreme Court. We'll move on to something else. Ooh, look over here. This is the hand. Don't look at this hand. Ooh, and they move on. And that's interesting. But they don't really want to fix it. Nothing about this tells me that they want to fix this. One of the things, though, Michael Anton, we're efforting to get him right now. He's got a great piece in the Washington Post today about birthright citizenship. It said citizenship shouldn't be a birthright. And that is interesting. And he discusses a lot of different things in there about the Constitution, what it is that we fought for in the 14th Amendment. It looks at, some of the court cases that have come and gone based on this, from obviously the disgraceful Dred Scott versus Sanford, all the way to what, some people say, well, that this thing has already been settled because of another court case that took place, that court case didn't settle really anything. It just settled residence here. Joining us now is the man who authored that piece, Michael Anton. Appreciate you coming on today. And, Michael, it's a very interesting, your piece, by the way, I love the piece. It's very interesting. It raises a lot of good questions. The first question I have for you, though, is what's the likelihood of something like this ever happening based on today's world that we live in?
I think it's getting more and more likely. I mean, you might as well ask, what's the likelihood of Donald Trump getting elected president? Well, on Monday before the 2016 election, everyone would have said zero. And getting control of immigration is his number one issue. I saw a couple of polls this week, polling at Republican voters saying what are the number one issues for you right now, and illegal immigration is at the top. For the first time in a long time. So public opinion is turning on this. People want to see it addressed. And there's really no question that birthright citizenship, especially as practiced now, it's an abuse. Even, yes, it's a problem when illegal immigrants cross the border and things like that. But people from rich countries, relatively rich countries, they fly here deliberately to have their babies. Well, one of the things that we're all supposed to be told to be hysterical about right now is Russia, right? Russia's our greatest enemy. Russia's a huge threat to the United States. We hear this over and over again. Well, Russian women routinely fly to Miami to have babies. Miami's the preferred destination, so that they can get U.S. passports. Well, if we're all supposed to be so worried about nefarious Russian influence, can we at least get control of that problem? But the answer that I got, especially from the conservatives, which was the most disappointing, was no. We're not allowed to do anything ever about birthright citizenship, and if you talk about it or bring it up, you're a racist, Nazi, white supremacist, evil person.
And that's the thing that, like I said, in this day and age, because everybody has a voice, everybody has a Twitter. We see how fast things can go from you do something stupid and it gets caught on YouTube or something like that, and then all of a sudden it spreads. And so the fear factor is you can't do anything in this day and age, because the reality is, while Trump may want to take it on, the conservatives, as you said, the Republicans, the chances of them really wanting to dig deep and fight this is probably slim to none.
For a lot of them, that's true. But remember, this is the same faction of the so-called conservatives who were against Trump, and they got steamrolled there. So I think they're a paper tiger. I think their hystericism, their screaming is a sign that they realize they're losing control of the debate. They're losing the argument, and all they can do is shout and tear at their shirts. Trump is changing the Republican Party. He's changing it on immigration. He's changing it on trade. He's changing it on foreign policy. There are people who like the way it was, and they're going to try and fight to keep it the way it was. But I think ultimately they're going to lose the argument, because the base of the Republican Party never was with them, but sort of ignored the fact that they weren't getting their issues addressed. But they're not ignoring it anymore, and they're going to demand that their issues be addressed. And that's what the election of Trump was all about.
Talking to Michael Anton. He's a lecturer and research fellow at Hillsdale College. Great article today. The Washington Post: Citizenship shouldn't be a birthright. Immigration is a tough thing, right? Because my proposal, and that I've thrown out there that I thought would be very interesting, having lived in Europe for a long time, is do something like almost the way that Europe does, especially with Canada and Mexico, which is allow people to move somewhat freely and work in these countries, tax them accordingly, and that way it takes the sting out of trying to get people to come here. So eventually you'll have a huge voter base for the Democrats. But I think it would be good because of the labor and the whole 9 yards. But the reality is, Michael, is that nobody really wants to take on immigration, because both sides have had, they're both culpable for turning a blind eye for decades.
Well, that's true, but I think it goes too far to say nobody wants to take it on. Obviously, there's a pretty big popular sentiment. Whether or not it's yet a majority remains to be seen. But this was Donald Trump's number one issue in 2016. It's too simple to say he won on it alone, but it was the number one issue that propelled him to victory. And as I said, it's polling very high as a concern. So there are people who want to take it on. Now, the problem that we have is there's not a whole lot of powerful people who want to take it on. The powerful people benefit from the status quo, from a neglect of the border and a neglect of enforcement. So they don't want to take it on, and they want to oppose anybody taking it on. But as long as this country is governed by democratic principles and has to be responsive to public opinion, I think that's going to change. We're going to see that change, and we are seeing it change. It would be good if we had better leadership on this instead of just the president. If we had better leadership in Congress, I think we might see some of that arise. God bless Paul Ryan for all the good service he did for the country, but not having him as speaker could potentially be helpful, because he was definitely part of the problem on the Capitol Hill with regard to this issue. He didn't want to do anything to fix it. In fact, he favored the status quo, he favored amnesty, and he favored, so-called Gang of Eight compromises and other things. So just seeing the leadership change on this question would be helpful. For instance, another one, Eric Cantor lost a primary a couple of years ago. He was in the Republican leadership. He lost a primary largely over immigration and trade. So these are encouraging signs, and I think it shows that the party is moving in a direction to align itself with what its voters want, and its voters want the party to address this issue.
You look at the party itself, you've got the Democrats who are just, they run around with their hair on fire, but it's who in the party has some political cachet, some power within the party that may push something like this forward, not just in the birthright side of things, but immigration in itself, because it's always been one of those things where, who has the stomach to take this on? And like you said, a lot of people may have the stomach to do it, but they don't have the power to do it. Who has the power that you see with Ryan stepping out out that may be a voice that's not the president's voice?
Well, on the Senate side, I think is where you find the person with the most clout and willingness and stature, and that's Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. He's spoken eloquently and persuasively on this. He shows that a real clear grasp of understanding the issue. I think he wants to do the right thing. He's a young guy, so he's got a big future ahead of him. I think, a coalition that could rally around him, that he could build, he would be the natural leader in Congress from my perspective.
That's very interesting. I would love to see somebody actually get something done. The frustration, I think, for all of us out there, right and left, is we look at people, we can have empathy for people, we can have an understanding for people, but the reality for us is our frustration. I've always said, be mad at the people you should really be mad at, which is our politicians, both right and left, who for decades, Michael, completely ignored this and allowed this to happen. Moving forward, you see Trump, and I love what you talk about here, where, maybe he throws an executive order out there in something like this. How would that be? Like you said, the fear is they're going to be called Nazis, white supremacists, xenophobes. How would that? It's
not a fear; it's a reality. Any talk of any kind of immigration reform to go toward enforcing U.S. law will get you called a Nazi. There's no question about it. It's happened. It's automatic. It's a knee-jerk reaction. So that's one of the things. If we're going to talk about this and we're going to try to get the system reformed, the people who are going to take the lead at talking about it just have to accept the fact that they're going to be called all kinds of hideous names and brace themselves for it and just ride it out.
Yeah, well, totally crazy. Citizenship shouldn't be a birthright. Op-ed piece by Michael Anton, research fellow at Hillsdale College. Very interesting when I was reading this. And one of the things you talked about was a case when it comes to, a lot of people say this has been settled. And you talk about the fact that, no, the birthright citizenship in itself, when it comes to people that are here undocumented, illegal, whatever you want to call them, hasn't been settled. But legal residents, it was settled.
Well, there's a Supreme Court case from, I believe, 1898 that says that the basis that says that the children of legal residents are citizens. It does not rule on the children of illegal immigrants at all. So that question has never been adjudicated by the court. I would just caution you against using the word settled, because you never want to say
nothing's ever settled.
You don't want to say that one Supreme Court decision settles everything, because the Supreme Court can get things terribly wrong. The Supreme Court obviously got the Dred Scott decision terribly wrong, the Korematsu decision. These things are subject to being overturned. So the best legal analyses that I've read says that this 1898 Wong Kim Ark decision is actually vulnerable to being overturned on two grounds. They get a little technical. I won't go into it. It would probably bore the listeners. But even that isn't settled. And even if you accept that it was settled, it doesn't settle the question of the children of illegals or the so-called birth tourists who fly to Miami or Southern California so they can get their baby a U.S. passport in a month and then go back home with the option to return here and live permanently whenever they so choose. I mean, that's a clear abuse. Even if the drafters of the 14th Amendment intended to give birthright citizenship to the children of illegal immigrants, which they did not. I think I've demonstrated that in a follow-up piece that I wrote for the Claremont Review of Books website. It's very long, but I urge everybody interested to read it. Even if they intended to do that, surely they did not intend for people to fly over from foreign countries just to secure U.S. citizenship for their children. By the way, under an immigration law, which allows children to bring over their extended family. So if you have a baby on a visa, and birth tourism is what they call it, you go home, you maybe live for 20 years, you decide, you know what, I'd like to retire to America. So, Junior, you're going to move over there, and then under family reunification policies of the United States, you're bringing all the rest of us with you. That's a clear abuse that nobody who drafted the 14th Amendment, not only did they not intend it, I'm sure they didn't even dream of it.
No. There's no way that they dreamt of something like that. And it is interesting. I'm from Southern California, and in Orange County, where this was very popular among Chinese who would come over here, the wealthy Chinese, to have their kids. It's crazy to think of something like that. And there's only so much we could say to the framers. Why weren't you more specific about the future of flight and people coming here? They weren't. Michael, a very interesting read. I absolutely love it. I urge anybody, if they have a chance, to check it out. I'll post it up on the website. Michael Anton, lecturer, research fellow at Hillsdale College. Citizenship shouldn't be a birthright. We appreciate you coming on today and hope to talk to you soon, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. We got a poll question today. What do you think about birthright citizenship? Right? What do you think about it? Yay, nay? There's so much to go into it. And, I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. And we talk about our framers. The fact is, the framers didn't, there's only so much you can think this forward. One day there'll be spaceships. We're going to Mars. Who knows? Right? What we'll be talking about. What do you think of it? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Should we do away with it? Should it be changed? Should there be certain specifics? Should we go back and look at the 14th Amendment? Let me know. You can text us. You can tweet at us as well. Chad Benson Show.
You call it ridiculous. We call it reality with a twist. Say what?
Millennials are so optimistic about money that they plan on making millions one day. A new study by TD Ameritrade revealed that half of millennials expect to be millionaires sometime soon. And with an eye on the good life, they also expect to retire at 56 years old, but don't plan on saving for retirement until 36. So that gives them about 20 years to become millionaires.
Well, good for them. That is fantastic. That is good.
This seems completely unfounded, especially given that we've heard in the past that the current younger generations, like the millennials, think they will be not as well off as their parents. It's a hodl kind of mindset, I think. People just hoping that something comes along, that they walk into a luck.
Yeah. Well, and look, for a lot of millennials, they're going to get a lot of wealth and money passed to them. Their parents have done okay. And so when they pass, chances are mom and dad may have a few bucks and they got a house, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, that may be true, but is it the way that they think it's going to be? Say what? Speaking of being rich, I found this interesting. So they are going to announce on Monday who gets rights to a sunken treasure off the coast of Colombia. Now, it was found in 1982. It's called the San Jose. It sank a long, long time ago, some 300 plus years ago. Estimates include anywhere between $1 billion and $21 billion is what it's worth. The Colombian government thinks it's somewhere between $4 billion and $17 billion. But because of challenges legally, backstabbing, international espionage, greed, they haven't been able to come to some sort of resolution. The company that found it from Washington State has the coordinates for it. They've given it to Colombia, but it's still been fighting and sitting there at the bottom of the ocean while they fight over this. And come Monday, we'll know who gets it. Could you imagine that? You've been. For how many years have you been fighting this good battle? Some 36 plus years, and now you're going to find out how much you get, if anything. And it could potentially, if you do get it, could potentially worth $2 billion too, or $10 billion. Crazy. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Hey, I've joined with an amazing company called AMAC. They're become partners of ours, and they really are amazing. They advocate on your behalf for things that you care about: common sense, immigration reform, Social Security, things of that nature. But on top of that, they give you all of these amazing benefits, and they do it if you join for free. That's right, free. They're not asking anything. If you're partnering with them like they've partnered with me, it doesn't cost you a penny. All you have to do is be over 50 years old. Some of the things you get: 40% off movie tickets, discount hotel bookings, rental cars. How about 40% off theme parks, SeaWorld, Legoland, Six Flags, Disneyland, Disney World, just to name a few. That's what you'll have an opportunity to get all these discounts, and all they ask you to do is be over 50. That's it. They're not charging you a penny. Normally they would, but if you join now, they're not charging you a dime. No tricks, no gimmicks, nothing. All you have to do is go to amac.us/Chad. They're not even going to ask you for your credit card. That's AMAC, AMAC.us/Chad, or you can call 888-355-1668. That's 888-355-1668, or online at amac.us/Chad. Doesn't cost you a penny. Join today. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Take the poll. Poll question is, should we look at birthright citizenship and think maybe we need to change that? Take the poll at Chad Benson Show. You can text me your answer as well. 323-538-2423. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Chad Benson Show. Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Social media. Interesting, to say the least. What we're able to do with social media nowadays. We live in an age of social media. It drives me crazy, and I understand the relevance of it. We need it, right, to do our jobs. I'm one of those people that live in a world where social media is no longer, I guess it's a must. It's a double-edged sword that's become more of a battle axe for a lot of people, right? And for some people, it's become a machine and tools to destroy your life. It really has. This president is understanding how to use social media maybe better than most of the influencers I see out there. I read an article today where one of the big influencers in the industry, if you will, has said that this influencer world that we live in nowadays is so saturated that eventually, we're going to have to all get real jobs. I don't know how soon that's going to happen because I think we're always going to have influencers. They're just changing the way that they're coming at people. But social media is very interesting. It can be good and it can be bad. It can be funny. It can be indifferent. It can be mundane. But anymore, it's awful. It is. I'm amazed at how we talk to one another nowadays. I'm amazed at how we insult each other nowadays. Maybe I shouldn't be. I was talking to a couple millennials yesterday, and one of them is my producer, one of my other producers. Good kid named Alonzo. Smart dude. Call him the Hawaiian Cran, for those of you who know. And the other one is one of our interns. Right? And she's cool. Lauren's her name. And we were talking about it, and she says, both of them said, it's just, they're watching. It's weird. It's like they're watching us just use the thing that was in many ways kind of created around them and at times for them, and they're watching us use it to fight each other. And it's sad that we've gotten to this point and to this place where all we know how to do is fight each other. And I think we're better than that. Not only as human beings, but, just as citizens of this wonderful, amazing country, as Americans, we are better than that. And the sad thing is the way that we attack each other. The way I get attacked on a daily basis starts out with, you're a blankety blankety blank. And then list all the things that he or she doesn't like about something I talked about. That's it. And the funny thing is, some of these people tweet at me throughout the day, and the next tweet will be supporting something I talked about. We don't know how to talk to each other. It is amazing. Our founding fathers' fear, the big fear they had as far as the collapsing of our country, wasn't based on whether or not that we were going to be invaded. The fact is they knew that geographically this is not going to happen. You had to cross too many oceans and too many miles of sea to get here. So the chances of us being invaded were slim to none. They were worried about from within. Our collapse would come from within. Now, we withstood one nasty battle, the Civil War. But right now we've got a different battle. We've got a battle that is, I look at this and I'm disappointed. I am. Look, I am an alt-middler. The reality is I've got some views that probably skew to the left of a lot of conservatives, and I've got some views that definitely skew to the right of a lot of progressives. But I take everything kind of as, hey, you know what? I'm going to look at each subject and I'm going to take each situation as its own. I'm an a la carte political person. And I'm frustrated because I'm over the hate. I'm over the bitching and the moaning. I'm over the whining. I'm over the fact that we can't discuss anything. And this goes to both sides of the aisle, that we start out on anger, right? We no longer have a fuse. We just have a detonator and a bomb. And it's frustrating. It is. It's frustrating. It frustrates the hell out of me. And yesterday, perfect example. It's like I talk for a living and I talk a lot for a living. Double and sometimes triple what other hosts do because of all the shows that I do. You get people that, hey, you misspoke here. You said something wrong here. You got a fact wrong here. You got this. Nobody has anything positive to say. And it's amazing. And they start out with everything that's wrong with you. And we do that now with our neighbors. We do that now with people we've never met because of social media. And when I looked at that Gallup poll yesterday, and immigration was number one, the economy was number two, the dissatisfaction with the way that our government acts and our leadership, and then number three behind that was the way that we treat each other. The political discourse in this country. I think it's real. Because negativity, the fact is research and science has shown that a positive thought or comment is more powerful to human than a negative one. The problem is we start out with negative and there is no positive. And I don't know why we got to this point. And politics is always been negative because it's much easier to point somebody else's flaws out than it is to toot your own horn. Some of that is because we weren't supposed to toot our own horn. But when I look at like where we're headed for 2018, here we are. We've got a few months to the election. I'm already starting to see and hear ads on a daily basis. And all I hear is how horrible the other opponent is. And then at the end of that, it's oh, by the way, I'm pretty good. Right? You go to like a Chuck Schumer, right? Here's a perfect example over. Do I hear Chuck talking about anything that Chuck's doing that is wonderful? No, it's just the same thing over and over and over again.
The Senate has remained virtually silent on the matter because Republicans appear unwilling, maybe afraid, to confront the president, even though they know what he did was so wrong.
Yeah. So wrong. He's bad. He's evil. The world's coming to an end. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. How about this? Rachel Maddow.
Is our president subordinate to a foreign power? Yeah. Does our president answer to a foreign government and a foreign leader? That private meeting with Putin where nobody knows what he promised or what he may have given away. The fact that he took under consideration all of these demands from Russia, including handing over Americans to Russia for interrogation, it makes the worst case scenario really palpable. The worst case scenario that the president is a foreign agent.
Foreign agent, negative. Because we've set up sides and we've set up tribalism like we have never seen in our lifetime. Again, there was tribalism back in the day when you looked at the way that the Civil War, when you had family on family and neighbor on neighbor, it was awful. But we don't live now. We didn't live then. We live now. And I'm amazed. I'm amazed at the way that we treat each other. Somebody just texted, Chad, you're taking it all too seriously. We trash people. No, the fact is you think it's that way. But then you go online and you start to fall, like you look at, like I'm always curious sometimes if people will come up and they'll say the most hateful things on Twitter. Then you go to their Facebook or their Twitter or whatever, and you look and you're like, wow, it's not just me. You feel this way about a lot of things. That's crazy. I've always said, look, I don't care what you say. You can call me a horrible human being. You say all the things you're going to have to say. Knock yourself out. Right? Because it's not worth fighting, because a lot of people out there are just trolls, and you know who they are. And if they were worth a damn in their life, they'd have their own radio show or television show, but they don't. So this is how they make themselves feel bigger. And a lot of that's what it is. You've got that Napoleon complex, right? And you're trying to build yourself up, and the only way that you feel that you can have a voice or do something is this, because you feel so small. But I don't like the way we treat each other, and I think we could be better. But the reality is negativity continues to grow because people gravitate to it. Look at work. I guarantee you look around work, wherever you're sitting right now, when you're driving, you think about this, you think about the person at work who you know, if you want to get the scoop about everything, if you want somebody to bitch and moan, you know exactly who that person is and how many people gravitate towards them. Because it's much easier to be negative than it is to be positive. And it's sad because we are eating ourselves up from the inside out. And that was the thing our founding fathers worried about. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. We got a poll question up today. It's about birthright citizenship. Very interesting. What do you think? Should we do away and end birthright citizenship? 31% say yes, 48% say no, 21% said only for undocumented, meaning if you're a resident here, you own a business, those kind of things, and you have a child here, that child, because you're here legally, should have the opportunity to have citizenship. But if you've come here illegally, whether it be crossing the border or you've come here, as basically a maternity tourist, and you're wealthy and you fly to Miami, New York, Chicago, L.A., Orange County, you decide to have a baby there knowing you're going to have a child here, stay here for a month and leave. Should we get rid of that? You can tweet at me at Chad Benson Show. You can text the program 323-538-2423. My pillow is amazing. I slept so well last night. You will sleep incredible as well. What are you waiting for? BOGO, buy one, get one free. That's what they're doing for my listeners right now. Why not? You know you have trouble sleeping, you're tired, you have 4, 5, 6 pillows and you twist them and you turn them and you're trying to get them comfortable and it's not really working the way you want. Give My Pillow a shot. It'll be the last pillow that you'll ever want to use. And right now you can buy one, get one free. My Pillow is 100% machine washable and dryable, made in the USA, backed by a 10-year warranty. It's incredible. And for my listeners, if you buy one today, you get one free. All you have to do is use the promo code Benson. Call 800-944-4975 or go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code Benson. 800-944-4975, MyPillow.com. When you call or go to the website, use the promo code Benson. You buy one, you get one free. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter, ChadBenson. Ryan Lochte got in trouble. He's the swimmer, got in trouble already in Brazil for his antics after he won the medal and he got drunk and he broke some stuff. He's in trouble and suspended now for quite a while. Wait till you hear why. It's a confusing world out there in the world of doping. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Take a fake news break. Check out the really important news of the day at our website, ChadBensonShow.com. Once there, click on Chad's free podcast and get real. The Chad Benson Show, where truth and the American way live. Print free.
So social media is interesting, right? You could post what you think is an innocuous picture, and the next thing you know, you get yourself in trouble. You incriminate yourself. Case in point, Ryan Lochte, the swimmer who caused controversy in Brazil when he got arrested after celebrating his Olympic victory and said and did a bunch of horrible things. He posted a picture of him and his girlfriend the other day on Instagram a while ago, and that little picture got himself in trouble.
I posted a picture on my Instagram account of me and Kayla, and Kayla and I doing the vitamins infusion. I received an inquiry from USADA, which is the United States Anti-Doping Agency, about what was in the IV. I fully cooperated with their request. What I did not know was that even though I wasn't taking anything that was banned substances from WADA, which is a World Anti-Doping Agency, and there was nothing that I was taking that was prohibited on the list.
So he took a picture of himself And in doing so, and posting him getting an IV, they said, well, wait a minute, what are you doing there? And apparently, there's only so much you can do. This happened on May 24th. An intravenous infusion of permitted substances at an infusion clinic in a volume of greater than 100 milliliters in a 12-hour period without therapeutic use exemption, meaning you can do that, but you need to get a special exemption. He's cooperated completely, but it doesn't matter. He's been hit with a 14-month suspension. Today starts the U.S. Trials, of which in national championships that he was supposed to be one of the favorites in. And this is the second time of him being suspended. And he did it all to himself. And it's I get confused over all of the things that you can and can't do in a lot of these sports, right? It's like you can take this, but you can't take that. You drink a substance that you've been drinking for a while, but all of a sudden you find out that this is now on the suspended list. It's the WADA, the World Anti-Doping Association, has their list, and this people over here, the United States Doping Association, has their list, and you never really quite know what's going on, and that's the sad part for somebody like Ryan Lochte, who being a jerk and cheating are two different things, right? People say, well, he's suspended again. Well, he was suspended for being a Richard the first time. This has nothing to do with cheating. This has to do with the fact that he did something. And a lot of times when you hear these guys, they don't even know any of the rules.
Unfortunately, although the rule is a newer rule and is not widely known as others, and I should know better. I have been in the sport for a long time, and I've always been diligent in making sure that I know what I can and cannot put in my body.
He's awful at reading, too, by the way. I'm sure he's probably nervous. He should be working with Trump's people. It's sad, though, because he's at the age now where the Olympics were maybe an outside. It's like if he wants to go for it, he probably could have made the team. But missing out for 14 months that's a kick in the teeth. That really is. And I get confused and stuff like this when I hear it. And you see it in all kinds of sports where guys get in trouble for this and guys get in trouble for that, and they didn't know they were supposed to do this, and you can't do that, and you never seem to be able to keep up the rules anymore. Basically, drink water, and that's it. It's the best way to go. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Interesting what a guy put on his business card that's causing a stir for a lot of people in Texas. We'll talk about it straight ahead. Chad Benson Show.
Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
You're a small business owner. We talk about illegal immigration and all of these things, and we talk about the impact it has on businesses and the fact that both sides have ignored illegal immigration. Some because the lobbyists pay big money, they need workers, things of that nature. The right benefits from that. The left benefits from the fact that they hope one day that eventually all these people will become citizens and they'll vote for them. That's really kind of the big picture in a nutshell. But if you're a small business owner, you know what it's like. I don't care if you're in California. I don't care if you're in Florida. I don't care if you're in Texas or Washington State or wherever. And you have to compete and you try to do everything above board. There is a guy in Texas that is taking a heat for a card that he created, and he owns the lawn service and talks about how legal his lawn service is, and he's taking, his area back one lawn at a time, definitely playing towards a certain base. But somebody saw it, and of course, what's the thing you do nowadays? You put it right on social media, and of course, there's backlashes that come with it. But if you're a small business owner, and there's many of you listening right now, you have a roofing business, right? A solar business. You're a contractor. You know by doing it above board how hard it is to compete with a guy who's got a work crew, the good portion he's paying under the table. He's not paying taxes. for those people. He's not paying the Social Security. He's not paying for workman's comp and all of those things that come and are associated with payroll in the business that cost him money. He didn't have to pay that. But you are. And that's costing you money. And then when you go to bid a job, the reality is you're going to get undercut big time in something like that.
When Fonzie Guzman saw this card on social media,
I was really upset at first, but once I kind of broke it down, I was like, you know what? I feel bad for this guy.
it says American owned, your alternative to illegal lawn services, and taking back Carrollton one lawn at a time.
People are like, it's racist. It's horrible. The frustration, right? Because we live in a world. Let's think about this for a second. I come over and I've got a business. Another person comes over and we're going to bid, right? We're going to bid on what we're going to do for you. I have employees that I have to pay for, cover their workman comp, all of those things. That stuff's going to be, where does that pass on to? Passes on to who? Passes on to the customer and everything. So I go and I say, to do your lawn, it's whatever, $100 a week, $50 a week, whatever it is. Another person comes in and I said it's 100. He can do it for 50 because he doesn't have to pay any of those things, or he can do it for 70. Which one are you going to go with? In a cost-based world that we live in, right, where cost matters for a lot of us, and because we consume so much, we're always looking for the best deal. If that's not true, we wouldn't want Walmart or Amazon. We're going to go for the cheaper price. I understand what he's trying to do, and I don't fault him for it. People are like, he's a racist, he's awful, he's evil. He's trying to talk his way back out of it. But look, I don't have a problem with it. I don't. Own it. Many of you listening right now, you understand. You understand because you're a small business owner and you're in a situation where you've got to go up against a guy or several people when you bid jobs, knowing full well that a good portion of the people that are going to be working for other companies are doing it under the table. They're not getting paid less. You're paying $12 or $14 an hour or $15 an hour or $20 an hour. They're paying their person the same amount. The difference is they're doing it in cash. They're not paying taxes and all of the other stuff that comes with that and associated with that is built into your job. It's not built into theirs. So they're able to underbid you time after time after time. And it's frustrating.
We saw one of the company's trucks and 3 of Jeff's employees who say they're Mexican. Jeff wouldn't go on camera, but he sent me a statement that says, in part, many card samples were made up to determine which wording would be used to let customers know there are legitimate, honest, tax-paying lawn services with excellent credentials and verifiable backgrounds. We found this photo that shows the slogan on a work truck. We don't know the date it was taken, but it does show the message on more than a sample card.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. And that's why I would say own it. Yeah, you know what? I do it above board. I do it right. I follow the rules and other people don't. And in not following the rules, you've got to pay a little bit more for me. You pay less for them. The argument is always what? Well, you know, nobody white wants to do that job. Nobody black wants to do that job. Nobody who's American wants to do that job. It's a bunch of crap. It is. And in following the rules, you're punished. And that's not cool, right? If we want everybody to be above board, right? And the left is always so worried about taxes. We need more taxes. We need more revenue. People are skimping out on the taxes over here. It sucks. I've seen it more than firsthand. People that are here illegally who are working and they're not getting, and understand this, they're not getting gypped as far as their wages go. I think that's what a lot of people think. When they think, oh, you just like cheap labor. Cheap labor isn't I'm paying you $1 and these are the slave wages or else. Cheap labor is, I'll give you the going rate. I'm just not going to pay the rest of the stuff that goes with it. I'm not taking out the taxes, right? There's no payroll taxes. There's no paying into Social Security. There's no workman's comp. All of that adds up. There's no insurance. If you cut your finger, we'll take you to urgent care and pay cash for it. This guy over here, he's got to compete on a different playing field, right? It's like golf, right? This guy's got a handicap. This guy's spotted 13, 14, 15 shots. This guy's not. He's got to play just from scratch. And that's the frustration. And this guy's having to reel, and because he's getting death threats, he said. It's not cool that that's happening, because what did he do? He was honest. And in a day and age where even truth is going to get you in trouble, you've got to figure out, how do I wiggle out of something that's true? And that right there is not cool.
Jeff says he has received death threats and is concerned for his family's safety. He says the old card that someone found was never meant to be a card that was handed out.
Why not? It probably was, but he's running from it. I get it. For me, I would have owned it. You own something like that, right? You own something like that. So how do people compete? Well, when I talk to my friends I got friends who are roofers, I got friends who have big roofing companies and painting companies and construction, contracting businesses. And they say, what we have to do is we have to come at it in a different way. We have to say, look, you may get somebody, we may bid you $10,000. Somebody else bids you $6,500. The difference is tomorrow they may be gone. Stuff falls apart. With us, we're here. We're not going anywhere. You know what you're going to get. We're going to do everything the right way. And for a lot of people, they're willing to pay for that kind of quality. And I'm not saying the other side's not going to give you quality, because it's not an other side thing. If it's a level playing field. And it's not. And it frustrates a lot of small business owners out there. And because I'm already getting people texting and tweeting at me talking about the frustration you have in situations like this. It's huge because the field isn't level, and that's what you want. That's why I've said, if we want to tackle illegal immigration in all aspects of it, come straight at it with going after employers, threatening them with fines, suspending their businesses for 30, 60, 90 days, and eventually shutting it down if they don't change their ways. Trust me, they'll get straight with it immediately, or they'll face not having a business. But nobody's really serious about taking that on. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. This is funny. I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday. Fox thought they booked somebody that was going to come on and talk about why they support ICE, right? So they're bringing somebody on who they believe is here to talk about the supporting of ICE, right? So they're bringing on a rep from Arizona, going to talk about, hey, we're supporting ICE. Why do you support ICE? This is great. And how they got this mixed up, how this happened is come on. How you weren't even close in names.
Ann Kirkpatrick, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Tell us why you do support ICE.
Good morning. I'm actually here to speak directly to Donald Trump. I feel that what's happening at the border is wrong. I'm a mother of 4, and I believe that separating kids from their parents is illegal and inhumane. I'm actually Barbara L'Italian. I'm a state senator representing a large immigrant community and running for Congress in Massachusetts. Again, my name is Barbara L'Italian, and I refuse to believe that our only options are open borders or trauma.
Okay. Not even close. Barbara L'Italian? Kirkpatrick? Not even how? Who shouldn't have a job today by messing that one up? That is. Who is this? I like that. Who? By the way, I do not believe she's going to win. I'm just going to throw it out there and say I don't think that she is going to win. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing from you. Got a question of the day. Before we talk about that, we're just talking about businesses, right? We're talking about businesses and hiring and doing the right thing. ZipRecruiter is the right way to hire. You've got a business, you want to expand. You need a great employee, but you're having a tough time, right? We're almost at full employment. We're looking around out there. It is a tough time, and you've got to find that right employee. But people are looking. They're looking to better the position they're in, and you want to find them. ZipRecruiter is the way to go. First and foremost, you post your job with a single click to 100-plus job sites, right? So it goes out there. Secondly, ZipRecruiter starts to work for you. They go out and hunt down that perfect candidate. They connect the two, and then from there, they take it a step further, and they'll actually go, hey, we've singled out this candidate here and this candidate here as the best of the best that we've got for you. And then you're ready to go. It's crazy how amazing and easy this is. They've got this just this great little thing that you can use inside of their system that will help you find that candidate. It'll help you go through, quickly screen, and then you're able to hire the right person. You have to worry about juggling emails and phone calls and things like that. That's why ZipRecruiter works. Fortune 100 company, thousands of small businesses and medium-sized businesses use it, and now you can. And for my listeners today, you guys can try it for free. All you have to do is go to ZipRecruiter.com/report. That's ZipRecruiter.com/report. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to love it. You're going to find that perfect person within maybe 24 hours. What? I know, right? Try it for free. ZipRecruiter.com/report. ZipRecruiter.com/report. We've got your Twitter poll. We'll touch on that. And we've got your useless fact of the day. Straight ahead, Chad Benson Show.
Feel free to punk this punk rocker anytime of the day or night. Reach Chad on Twitter at Chad Benson Show and on Instagram at Chad Benson Show. And oh yeah, the Chad Benson Show on Facebook too. Punk that.
Rosila works as a cashier at a convenience store inside of an office building in Chicago's Loop. She expects long lines for Mega Millions tickets to start forming in the afternoon.
Everybody's coming for just to try their luck.
She says when lottery jackpots get this high, she sees a lot of customers who are unfamiliar with the games but want to get in on the action.
Sometimes they don't know. They just do the quick pick. Okay, what's the big one? Mega? Okay, how much? $2 line. Okay, give me $100. Give me $50.
The Mega Millions jackpot is over $500 million for tonight's drawing.
$500 million. That's a lot of money. Who's ready for it? Who's ready? Raise your hand if you're ready for the Mega Millions. What do you do with the Mega Millions? I mean, that's just what do you do with it? Yes, $512 million. Probably be up over that tonight. This is when you get involved, right? Like, this is when you get involved. Now is the time. Because a few bucks could change everything. I always tell everybody, you have justice. Somebody is eventually going to win. Why shouldn't it be me? Right? Why shouldn't it be? Because it's not. It's never me. It's all, everybody said, why shouldn't it be me? I'm going to win. I'm going to win something. I got no problem with that. And $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 change your life. Absolutely. And yes, I'm going to still do my job. That's it. Phil, on the other hand, he wins. He's never come back. You're never going to see him again.
Oh, no, you will. And just until I get my things in order. And then one day, we've talked about people ghosting their jobs. I'm just not going to be here.
Yeah. Well, you got to get your things right. That is priority. And I'm seeing, because you always see these shows like, the lottery was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But there are people out there who are smart enough now because of social media and because of all of everything else where they have seen the mistakes other people have made. And now they're smart enough to go, you know what? I need to get my stuff in order. Right? I need to, and you go and you get some good people that you trust in your corner. And you put yourself in a situation where you don't blow yourself up. Because everybody's coming after you. Right? That long-lost cousin you've never heard of has a great idea. They're showing up your door. They need $50,000 for this. This person needs $100,000. That person that you went to school with, if you never talked to, just happens to give you a call that day or reaches out to you on Facebook. That's what happens. Because everybody gets money in their eyes. Oh, and money is a weird thing. You know, I've got a couple friends who are really, because of the industries they were in, their lives have changed tremendously. As far as they have wealth, they're not rich. They have wealth, and we've talked before about stuff. And one of them, through their business, they built up their wealth. Another person got wealth because of investing over time. And both of them have said the thing that has always been so amazing is how everybody thinks you change, but a lot of time it's people around you that really change, because they no longer see you as the person you were. They see you as a dollar bill, and they're jealous of you. They want something from you. So, I get that. I could see that. I really could. I could absolutely see that. You get $500 million overnight. That neighbor no longer sees you as the neighbor that was just your neighbor who was on the same plane. You're now something completely different. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Should we end birthright citizenship? That is the poll question today. Take it at Chad Benson Show. 35% say yes, 44% say no, 21% says only for undocumented. Take the poll at Chad Benson Show. Your useless fact today: 1945, a rooster survived for 18 months without his head. Crazy. Have a good rest of your Taco Tuesday. Night, Jack.
This is the Chad Benson Show.